Hey, hey, hey. Happy Tuesday. Come on in, pull up a chair. The Daily Dope is in the air. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Yes, welcome back to the Duct Tapes Studios. I'm Jeff McAleer, your host here at The Daily Dope, presented by thegaminggang.com, which I happen to be the grand poobah. Yes, I am the editor and founder of thegaminggang.com. So welcome aboard. Tonight is Tuesday, October 20th, 2020. So yes, it is 10/20/2020. This is episode 558 of The Daily Dope. So if this is your first time joining me, let me point out, this is very, very casual, just hanging out, talking about tabletop gaming. It is certainly not rocket surgery by any stretch of the imagination. So we're talking about board games, role-playing games, miniatures games, card games. If it's going on your tabletop and it's a game, we are probably going to be talking about it here. Every once in a while, we'll talk a little PC gaming as well as pop culture, but the vast majority of the time, it's tabletop gaming. So, do you want to also mention, if you like this video, by all means, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't already. And if you do subscribe, don't forget, ring that little bell, because it will not only let you know when the Daily Dope streams live, Monday through Thursday nights right here on YouTube. It'll also let you know when I upload other videos, such as my review of the Pathfinder 2nd Edition Advanced Player's Guide. Yes, that is the latest review. Although, gotta point out, I've got another review that's in the can. We will talk about that in just a moment. Of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all the latest in gaming news, reviews, and a whole lot more. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Also, since this is a live stream, that means there is chat available. It's not on screen. It's one of the ways that I keep some of the more unusual commenters at bay, but I do my best to pay attention to chat, even when it kind of zips past pretty quickly. So if you want to say howdy, or maybe you've got a question, a comment, by all means, please chime in. I will do my best to respond. So far, my buddy Scott Weigel, good friend of mine from high school, he was first out the gate saying hello in chat tonight. We've got Cameron F. The Madman is here. Beat Cafe, as well as Dan from No Enemies Here, are hanging out in chat as well. So Dan from No Enemies Here says, man, how huge is Pathfinder World? Well, let me point out that Pathfinder, well, 2nd edition, they still have tons of stuff that comes out. Since Pathfinder was established, there's tons of stuff. Tons and tons and stuff. Far more material comes out for 2nd edition Pathfinder from Paizo than comes out for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition from Wizards of the Coast. By far. Anyway, welcome aboard, everybody. Got a good amount of news tonight. And once I get through the news, I will talk about the latest review that's in the can. It's going to pop up tomorrow morning. Talk about some other items. Show something that popped up in the mail today. So that's pretty cool. So first off, let's jump on into the news because Dinosaur Island is going to be back in print for Pandasaurus Games. It's coming next month. It is carrying a lower MSRP. Here's the dope. Dinosaur Island has been out of stock on our website for a while, and we're excited to bring it back in a big way next month. Starting in November, there will be 3 unique Dino Meeple shapes in the box instead of just 1, all at the lower price of $59.95. The original retail version only had the Triceratops shape, but now we've added shapes for the Raptor and T-Rex. We've also lowered the MSRP from $79.95 because we wanted to make sure as many players as possible are able to enjoy this dino-rific game. Note, the only change between this version and previous versions is the 2 additional Meeple shapes and the lower price. No gameplay or other components have changed. In Dinosaur Island, each player takes on the role of a park manager at one of these premier destinations. You've been handed the reins to a burgeoning operation, bringing the fantastic creatures of the Jurassic, Triassic, and Cretaceous. I thought it's like Crustaceous. Just spelled weird. I think it's Crustaceous, periods. Forward into the modern day. Early retirement is yours if you can make your park bigger and better than the competition. It won't be a walk in the park, though. You'll need to hire the right personnel, beat your competitors to perfecting the hottest dino recipes, and gamble on which attractions will draw the most visitors. And it'll all come crashing down if your security precautions aren't tight enough to keep your unruly dino population under control. Welcome to Dinosaur Island. Dinosaur Island is for 1 to 4 players, ages 8 and up, plays in 90 to 120 minutes. And as mentioned, it's going to carry this new lower MSRP of $59.95 when it hits stores next month. So I have to point out, I have never played any of the Pandasaurus Games dinosaur titles, and there are a few. In fact, they were just kickstarting 2 new dino titles. But this was the first. Dinosaur Island was their first of their big dinosaur games. I've always heard good things. I've always heard it's pretty cool, but I have not had an opportunity to check it out. Who knows? We'll see. Maybe Pandasaurus Games will throw me a bone and maybe send me a review copy. I don't know. I don't know. Come on, Danny, you can do it. You can do it, Danny. Just teasing. Moving right along. Wizards of the Coast is teaming once again with the Extra Life charity for Magic the Gathering exclusives. I've got the dope on the Secret Lair for Extra Life. The 4 premium foil alternate art cards in this Secret Lair drop illustrate the importance of family and children with brand new art on some of our favorite cards. Secret Lair Extra Life 2020 will be available to pre-order on secretlair.wizards.com beginning at 9 a.m. Pacific, November 6th through 9 a.m. Pacific, November 9th. The drop will cost $60, and the Wizards of the Coast team will donate $30 to Extra Life, benefiting Seattle Children's Hospital for each copy of Secret Lair Extra Life 2020 sold. There's also the Extra Life 2020 playmats. The art on display in Secret Lair Extra Life 2020 is truly wonderful. And now you can take it with you wherever you play Magic thanks to these gorgeous playmats by Ultra Pro. What's better? Each playmat also supports the phenomenal work Extra Life does around the world. These playmats will be available for $21.99 on shopultrapro.com for a limited time. In fact, it's going to be the same dates as the Secret Lair Extra Life 2020 drop, November 6th through the 9th. A donation of $16 will be made to Extra Life for each playmat purchased. That's pretty sweet. That is a pretty cool donation. Out of the $21.99, $16 is going to Extra Life. Also, through eBay for Charity at ebay.com, WOTC Charity. Don't worry. Check out the news piece tomorrow. I have all these links in it. We'll be auctioning off 20 uncut sheets between October 29th and November 7th. These sheets range from German 5th edition rares and lands, all the way to Ikoria, layer of behemoths, mythic rare showcase cards, with an extra spicy mystery booster convention edition sheet to boot. 100% of the profits and fees from these auctions will be donated to Extra Life, so everyone wins. Do want to mention there are also some Extra Life t-shirts and hoodies, and those are available as well. Once again, you'll see links on the news piece tomorrow. And there's also, if you play Magic Arena, you can purchase the special Secret Lair drop 2020 like backing for your cards, which will be available as well. So pretty cool. As far as what's going on with the Gaming Gang and Extra Life in November, I don't know. We've got Scott hanging out in chat. He says he's up for playing some old school role-playing remotely, but I haven't heard anything back from anyone else outside, of course, my best friend Elliot Miller, who already said, yeah, I'm in. So I don't know. I have no idea what's going on. Dude, no, worst comes to worst. I'm sure I can get Elliot and his family, and we can probably plug Scott into the adventure as well. What I'm planning on doing is kind of a very rules light, kind of old school Renaissance fantasy role-playing game. Grade A says, Jeff, run some Mothership. What's your language, Grade A? Jeez. Oh, Mothership. Well, that'll actually kind of make some folks kind of chuckle out there when I show them what the next review is that's finished. So do want to mention that we do have Kabuki Kid. Double K is in chat, as well as, of course, I just said howdy to a Grade A. A Grade A's in chat with us as well. Just double check and make sure that I have not passed somebody by. So Scott says they downloaded the game system, just need to open ports on chained routers. Oh, yeah. Yes, that is kind of a pain as far as with Fantasy Grounds. Although, to be honest, I'll have to double check, but I don't believe you have to mess around with too much of that. I think that's more because of me hosting it. I have to make sure that my ports are open. So Dan from No Enemies here says, I wanted to so badly. Sorry. Actually, Dan wasn't invited. Dan was looking to maybe get in some role playing with us previously, but this is a special Extra Life for Kids charity event, Dan. You'll be busy. You'll be busy doing the Charles Roberts Awards, or no, that's actually this weekend, I think. All right, moving on to the next news piece. Something else that is arriving back in stores next month is Detective City of Angels from Ryder Games. Here's the dope. Detective City of Angels, set in the dark and violent world of 1940s Los Angeles, is a game of mystery, deception, and investigation for 1 to 5 players. Most players will step into the shoes of LAPD homicide detectives, hungry for glory and willing to do whatever it takes to successfully close a case, even if that means intimidating suspects, concealing evidence, and hiring snitches to rat on their fellow detectives. One player, however, will take on the role of the Chisel, whose only goal is to stall and misdirect the detectives at every turn, using bluffing, manipulation, and often outright lies. Detective COA uses the innovative ARC system, adaptive response card, to create the feel of interrogating a subject. Suspects do not simply give paragraph book responses. Instead, the Chisel carefully chooses how they will answer. Will Billy O'Shea insist that the victim was a regular at Topsy's nightclub? Of course, they were always at Topsy's. Always at Topsy's nightclub. Everyone goes to Topsy's. Is he telling the truth? Or is the Chisel subtly leading the detectives toward a dead end that will cost them precious time? Detectives can challenge responses that they think are lies, but at great risk. If they're wrong, the chisel will acquire leverage over them, making the case that much harder to solve. Detective COA includes separate detailed casebooks for both the detectives and the chisel. Each crime is a carefully constructed puzzle that can unfold in a variety of ways, depending on how the detectives choose to pursue their investigations. As the detectives turn the city upside down, uncovering fresh evidence and hot leads, hidden suspects may be revealed and new lines of questioning will open up, creating a rich, story-driven experience. Inspired by classic film noir like The Big Sleep, which never made any sense. The Big Sleep is a Dashiell Hammett movie that just makes absolutely no sense. Doesn't matter which version of it you see. It's sort of like, So a Grade A says it reminds him of James Ellroy because it's also inspired by the works of James Ellroy, LA Confidential, and the video game LA Noire from Rockstar Games. Detective City of Angels is a murder mystery game unlike any other. Will one detective rise above the rest and close the case on LA's latest high-profile murder? Or will the chisel sow enough doubt and confusion to prevent the detectives from solving the crime? Detective City of Angels is for 1 to 5 players, ages 14 and up, plays in around 30 to 150 minutes. Will carry an MSRP of $79.99 when it arrives back in stores on November 15th. So this has been out of print for a while. I think it's been out of print for a little while. And I do believe at the same time, there is also an expansion with more cases. I think that's coming out as well. I'm not sure if that's new or if that is also a new print run. I'm not sure. This looks great, I got to say. And this is another game, just like Dinosaur Island, that I have always heard good things about. Now, keep in mind, this is a different game. This isn't Detective from Portal Games. This is a bit different. I love the components, too. This is Detective City of Angels. So, yes, I am a huge fan of LA Confidential. I have read a little bit of James Ellroy's work, and there is some discussion right now in chat about James Ellroy no longer writing mysteries. I think he has stopped. I think Grade A's right. I think James Ellroy, didn't he pass away? I know. Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else. No, I thought James Ellroy passed away. Somebody's got to jump on the old Google, hit the Google button and check that out. Because there's, I'm trying to think. I don't know. Sometimes some of these authors, I get them all mixed up, like Larry McMurtry, right? And yes, I know Larry McMurtry does Westerns for the most part. Although he did Last Picture Show. So that is set in the West. But, oh gosh, I'm trying to think. No, you know what? You know who I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of, isn't it Leonard? Gosh, the guy who wrote, I think, their last name, his last name is very similar. I want to say, if I remember correctly, he wrote like Get Shorty. So, I don't know. Leonard, I think it's like Leonard I want to say Ellroy, but it's not Ellroy. We know that. Anyway, doesn't matter. This looks like a cool game. It's like everybody's sitting there like, yeah, Jeff, move on to the next news piece, all right? Come on, let's go. Come on, move it along. All right, I'm moving. So Scott says, hey, Google. Hey, Google. So a Grade A says, Ellroy has claimed that he is done writing noir crime novels. I write big political books now. All right. So Cameron says, I keep thinking, did they have Band-Aids in the 1940s? Scott Weagle says, hey, I know this one. Doesn't even need to go to Google. Band-Aids were invented in the 20s. Yes. Thank you, the madman. Yes, it's Elmore Leonard. Yep. Yep. So, yes, I knew he was dead. Yeah, why am I? Elmore Leonard was a writer who really could capture the different ways people speak and lay it out there. And it's kind of funny when you would read it. Sometimes it's like, I mean, you'd have a character that kind of like mumbles or something like that. And it's all like right there in the dialogue. It's very wild. Some people did not like that at all. I always thought it was pretty cool. So yes, and Elmore Leonard passed away in 2013. All right, on to the next news piece. Because now in PDF from Black Cats Gaming is the spy game role-playing game. Guess who's got the dope? Take on secret missions and covert operations in a clandestine world. Clandestine, I know. Welcome, Agent. Enter a world of international stealth and intrigue in a modern setting. Delve into a world of spies, assassins, diabolical masterminds, and suave secret agents. The Spy Game is an action and espionage role-playing game book that uses the 5th edition of the world's most famous role-playing game rules. What could that have been? Don't know. Peer behind the curtain of society into the world of the agencies and take your place as a world-class spy. Together, your crew of con artists, specialists, infiltrators, and hackers, you will influence, subvert, and overcome any challenge. Will you topple corrupt governments or protect the interests of the highest bidder? Will you take out the target before they achieve their aims or aid them? Will you counter worldwide threats or become them yourselves? The Spy Game places your own intelligence agency on the world stage, where the promise of adventure waits for you. Create your own spy stories of action and adventure in a covert world. Build your own super spy as anything from a rough wilderness explorer to a tuxedo charmer and everything in between. Use a familiar gaming system in 5e, allowing new players to easily start and experienced players to get right into the action. Engage and overcome a host of minions, villains, and evil genius NPCs. Explore the world of the Spy Game and its agencies, colorful worldwide organizations engaged in every type of espionage in exotic locations. Design complex plots and deadly missions for players to go on with the help of guidelines for game masters, new and old. This 264-page PDF is available right now at DriveThruRPG for $20. Yes. Nice. I like the spy genre. I remember back in the day, Scott will be able to attest to this. Our friend Tim Phelan would run Top Secret. I think Scott ran a little bit of Top Secret as well. But I do recall that. You know, here's an odd thing, and I'm not taking anything away from Black Cats Gaming at all in the Spy Game. But if you recall, Spycraft, which was from Crafty Games, was supposed to have a new edition come out. And it has been, I don't know, like 8 years since they were talking about they were working on like 3rd edition Spycraft. Guess we're never going to see that, huh? So I'm kind of curious as far as the Spy Game, if it's actually going to simulate actual espionage agencies, because I could have swore when Top Secret first came out, they kind of utilized real legitimate agencies, right? So you had like the CIA, FBI, MI6, MI5, the KGB, comrade. Whereas later editions of Top Secret, they started going with, you know, the fictional stuff. So, although, funny enough, a lot of people think SMERSH, an agency from James Bond, was just a fictional agency. No, SMERSH was real. SMERSH existed. Spectre did not. Spectre did not exist. So it was kind of funny. going off on a little bit of a spy tangent, right? So I had people, whenever I talk like talk about James Bond, like old James Bond movies, never fails. Somebody always asks, what the hell was the difference between SMERSH and Spectre? And the thing is, SMERSH was actually a Russian spy agency, spy ring agency, whatever you want to consider it. And Spectre was actually just bad guys. They could have been from anywhere. So if I remember correctly, Blofeld is the leader of Spectre. Yes. And umpteen actors played Blofeld. So, Ernest Blofeld. I remember Telly Savalas in On Her Majesty's Secret Service, which is a very underrated Bond film, in my opinion. And then we also had Donald Pleasance played Blofeld. And then, gosh, I can't remember the actor's name. He was a character actor. He was in a lot of stuff. British actor. He was in a lot of British movies too. He played Blofeld as well. So, Kabuki Kid says that they used to play an amalgam of Top Secret and James Bond 007. James Bond 007 was really good. I've said it time and time again. Somebody should get their hands on that system. Granted, you're not going to probably be able to license the Bond name, but that was actually, that system would still hold up. So, very cool, very cool. So, Susanna Grace has joined us in chat. It says, hey, I'm one of the staff at Black Cats. We have a number of agencies in the book, from real ones to ones created by our writers. Each one has their own specializations and unique gadgets. Very cool. Thank you for answering my question, Susanna. I appreciate that very much. So, Beat Cafe says they played Bond 2, but way more Top Secret. And asks if anyone's seen the new release of Top Secret, which is New World Order, which I've got to be honest, I have heard is not good. I heard it's a mess, to be honest. I have not seen it, so I really can't tell you what's going on. But I can tell you I have heard secondhand that it is, I don't want to say unmitigated garbage, but I've heard it's really bad. Very, very bad. There's some discussion about some other RPGs out there. D&D, obviously enough. Or for many of us, it was a D&D. RuneQuest, Top Secret, Aftermath. There you go. FGU Games. Star Frontiers, Paranoia. So Grade A says those were always in their rotation. So Kabuki Kid says Star Frontiers was underrated. The original, I think, was underrated. I think the, what was it? Is it Alpha Knights or Alpha Dawn, something like that? So let's move on to my final news piece, because Andrew's McMeel Publishing has an interesting looking 5e setting book which tackles the world of Peter Pan. Here's the dope on Neverland. Mermaids, sword fights, and adventures through Neverland are all fun and exciting until you're staring down the mouth of a crocodile big enough to topple a castle. Journey into the world of Peter Pan and its mysterious inhabitants in Neverland, a fantasy role-playing setting. Explore the Isle of Mischief and Mystery. Many have heard of the island of Neverland. Stories of pirates, mermaids, and Peter Pan are told by parents around the world to send their children off to a happy, dreaming sleep. But it's been a long time since the darlings first flew to Neverland, and a new story is about to be told. Your own. Take a journey into the world of Peter Pan and its mysterious inhabitants in Neverland, a fantasy RPG setting. The book is a feature-length hex crawl campaign. Yes, you heard that correctly. Intended for sandbox exploration. Created by Andrew Kolb, you'll find endless adventure inside, lovingly adapted from the tales of Peter Pan and tailored for an older audience. Each hex is self-contained, brimming with lore from Peter Pan and the Darlings' escapades. It's time to tell your own stories of pirates, mermaids, and children who can fly. Of course, this is for use with the 5th edition of the world's oldest role-playing game. What could that possibly be? Boy, that's 2 source books that we've got. I wonder. The 171-page book is available in hardcover for $24.99 or in PDF at DriveThruRPG for $19.99. With that pricing, it sounds like that hardcover is a way better deal. Way better deal. Although, got to be honest, the $19.99, 171 page, that's fair. I usually say about a dime a page is pretty much what we try to look at. And it's close. It's kind of close. So that does sound kind of cool because it is a hex crawl. Nice. Very nice. And it is written for probably a more mature audience. It's not for just little kids and things like that. All right. So I was mentioning DriveThruRPG. Also want to point out that the Gaming Gang, thus the Daily Dope, are affiliated with the One Bookshelf sites. So if you are going to visit, say, DriveThruRPG, stop by thegaminggang.com first, click on one of our banner ads, and that way, if you do make a purchase, I get a little portion of that sale. And all those nickels, dimes, and quarters do really add up and do help keep the Gaming Gang website around. While I'm on the topic of DriveThruRPG, today, the One Bookshelf sites launched their annual scavenger hunt for Halloween. So not only is the annual Halloween sale on, which in my opinion is the second best sale that we see annually from DriveThruRPG. The only time I see better prices, bigger sale items, is the Christmas in July sale. So this is kind of the second best sale, but all of the One Bookshelf sites, except for Wargame Vault, does have the scavenger hunt. So you're looking for all these little different symbols on all these different pages for free digital products. In fact, at DriveThruRPG, the standout freebie, in my opinion, is the D6. I want to say it's Tiny Stranger Stuff. So it's kind of like a Stranger Things inspired Tiny D6 system role-playing game core book, which I think normally sells for like, I don't know, $8, $9 in PDF. So to make life easier for you, I've done what I've done every year. You can go on over to thegaminggang.com, and I have listed every single site and where you can find the hidden goodies. So if you want to go and you want to have some fun and go on a scavenger hunt over at DriveThruRPG, DriveThruComics, DriveThruCards, DriveThruFiction, Dungeon Masters Guild, as well as Storytellers Vault, by all means, do so. If you get stuck or you want to double check to make sure you've gotten all the goodies, by all means, check out my post from earlier today because I got everything. And there were a few items, few locations that were new. Because usually every year it's kind of like the same exact spot that you'll find stuff, right? You'll find a little ghost or a little candy, and that's what you have to click on to get the freebie added to your cart. Like in My Library, they always have one on My Library. They always have one on the Halloween sale page. There were a few interesting ones popped in there. So, Grade A says, Tiny Dungeon's a good system. It is a nice, fun, very rules-light system. Perfect for introducing kids into role-playing games. So the Madman says, Jeff, off topic, but have you heard anything about online board game retailers having issues getting newly released games. My usual source seems to be having a problem getting their hands on games. Well, I have not really been hearing anything, but it's all going to depend on who their distributor is. Are they going through, what is it, PDX? Are they going through, oh gosh, there's three main distributors that are out there. So you got Alliance, which is part of, Diamond. So they do a lot. And let me take a peek here. You've got PhD, that's it. PDX, that's the airport code for Sky Harbor in Phoenix. GTS, that's the distributor that I was trying to think of. So they might have an issue with their distributors. So I don't know. So you might. So, and we're talking online board game retailers. I don't know. I have no idea. So a Grade A says, I know parts distributors are all experiencing delays and issues with delivery times. I hate to break it, everybody. Get ready, because we're going to have another one of these deals again. Only distributors not having issues are distillers, says a Grade A. Yeah, especially if you're, running your own still. Womp womp. All right, so anyway, by all means, head over to DriveThruRPG and the other sites for all those freebies. Each site has around 10. So I thought it was very cool. And this year, DriveThru Cards, which are basically card games that you can get the PDFs, print them off yourself. Of course, they've got print on demand as well. They didn't have the scavenger hunt last year. They do this year. So very cool. That's a very, very cool. All right, that is it for tonight's news. So a few things going on. So I get a phone call today from Federal Express asking me about a package that's being delivered to me from the Czech Republic. And the only thing I can think of coming from the Czech Republic is possibly from Czech Games Edition. So they're supposed to be sending me a couple of review copies, a couple of games. And that was the only thing I could think of. And so I get this phone call from FedEx for customs asking me, number one, what's the value of this package? Which, like I said, honestly, I have no clue what's in it. If it's what I think it is, retail value is probably, I don't know, $125, something like that. Dan from No Enemies has to rock on out. Good to see you, Dan. Catch you next time. But, and then the other thing was, is there composite wood in these games? Because if there's composite wood, they have to open them up and take a sample. I was like, no, I'm sure there's no composite wood. I'm sure it's just cardstock and maybe plastic. But the funny thing is, I don't even really know what it is. So it could be. It was supposed to be delivered today, but then they didn't because of the customs thing. So, I don't know. I have no clue, no idea. Right, so something that showed up in the mail, you may recall, I think it was, last week, I did a news piece about Hunt a Killer, Death at the Dive Bar. So this is a board game from the company that does the subscription mysteries. So this showed up today. And I gotta say, it's not real hefty. And it does say it plays in 45 minutes to an hour. So I think this is kind of a one case and it's done. So I am going to bring this over to my brother's house because Saturday is my birthday. Saturday is also my sister-in-law's birthday. And Sunday is my mom's birthday. So my sister-in-law loves mystery shows. And my mom loves mystery shows. So I had already mentioned this to my sister-in-law, and she was like, ooh, that sounds like fun. Because she doesn't really play games. My mom will actually play games. Within reason, right? So we, like, last time I played games with my mom, I brought Mariposas. We played that. We played Calico, and we also played... Yeah, I forget. I forget what the other game was. Anyway, so that showed up in the mail. My next review, which is in the can, is the Alien role-playing game starter set. This will be up tomorrow morning. I am not going to put it up tonight because we already have a review that popped up today. Well, it was actually last night, but people started noticing it earlier today. So this is up there as well. A couple more reviews that are right on the horizon is Lawson from Free League Publishing, who makes Alien the role-playing game starter set. So I've got this, as well as Pathfinder 2nd Edition, Lost Omens Legends. This is actually kind of a thinner book. If I remember, I think it's 128 pages. It's not super long. So very cool. So Grade A said that they have been waiting on that Alien role-playing game review. Well, you are going to get that. So the Madman says, actually got his dad and family to play The Grizzled. Nice. I've never played it. Always looked pretty interesting. Because as far as I understand, I believe you can't talk in the game. Or is that just one of the characters that you possibly get? Because I do understand you're all playing, I believe, French soldiers in the trenches during World War I. So Kabuki Kid says, when the heck is that Gale Force 9 Aliens game coming out? Are we talking about that Bug Hunt? Because Bug Hunt is actually from... Is that USAopoly? I don't think it's Gale Force 9. But then again, yeah. So Grade A says, never trust Gale Force 9. Only game I've ever reviewed from them was Spartacus. And I liked it. I thought it was... I didn't think it was as fantastic as a lot of people thought. At the time when it came out, there were a lot of people just going, gaga over it. But I did think it was good. We enjoyed playing it. So, yes, okay, it's a glorious day in the core. Yeah, okay, I know. Now I know what you're talking about. I wasn't sure if that was Gale Force 9 or not. But yeah, it seems Gale Force 9 is very hit or miss on when things come out. So, looks like The Grizzled is good. It's good. All right, so anyway, so that's what's on the horizon as far as the reviews. Of course, we're trying to play some Crusader Kingdoms as well. So Scott Weagle says they never played Advanced Circus Maximus with the rules that are from General Magazine. I actually had an email. Somebody had asked about maybe me talking a little more about the role-playing games that I played when I was in high school, and some of the games we played in high school. And I was trying to remember who ran what. So I know we all kind of discovered Morrow Project together. And there was a store that was on the I guess it was a suburb of Chicago, or is a suburb of Chicago. And it is Norridge. So there was a mall there, and they had like a game store, Gamers Paradise. And we used to get a lot of stuff there. So a Grade A says, is the old D&D supplement segments coming? No, not right now. I have way too much stuff to review. I was going to do like the old school Advanced Dungeons and Dragons adventures, doing, little videos about them. But I've got tons of Pathfinder stuff. I've got a lot of stuff. So one of the reasons why I was going to do that is because things had kind of quieted down as far as review copies coming in. And then all of a sudden, boom, floodgates kind of opened up. Yes, Scott Weagle's like talking about the HIP, Harlem and Irving Plaza, which is actually still there. It is, strangely enough, one of the few malls that are still kind of around in Chicago or right on the outskirts of Chicago. Most of the other places that we used to hang out to or go shopping at and things like that are all long gone. The Brickyard in Chicago, that's gone. Now I'm trying to remember. It was down on Clark and Diversey, the Century Mall, which was actually multi-story. And it was kind of funny because each story only had a few stores on it. So you might have 4 stores. It was actually not very big. Reason why I knew the Century is there was also a Gamer's Paradise there as well. But anyway, getting back to the RPGs. So, and there you go. Scott just said Century Mall. Scott will probably correct me if I'm wrong, but I seem to recall that our friend Tim Weagle, I almost said, wait a second. It's Scott Weagle, Tim Phelan. What the hell? I'm zoning out. Anyway, some like message just popped up on my screen and threw me off. It was, one of these Windows update things. And I'm like, oh, you better not be updating right now. That's what kind of threw me off. It's not. It's waiting for me to restart the computer, though. Anyway, so Tim Phelan ran Top Secret. Yes, Scott's like, feeling, man. Feeling. Yes, I know. Like I said, the message came up as I was talking, and I was like, what? So Tim ran Top Secret. I know Scott ran some Top Secret, but he also ran Behind Enemy Lines. And Elliot ran. Now, the funny thing is, we all didn't play all this stuff together. So I'll give you an example. So like Call of Cthulhu, I don't remember running a lot of Call of Cthulhu for people other than mainly my best friend, Elliot Miller, my friend, Ed Ruprecht, who did not go to the same high school with us, but I met him in high school. And Elliot's nephew, Paul. That was mainly who played Call of Cthulhu. So Elliot ran Stormbringer. So Elliot ran some Stormbringer. Elliot ran some Star Trek, the old fastest Star Trek, which wasn't too bad. And I know we all kind of took a hand at running Morrow Project at all different points of time because of the combat system was like really deadly. Of course, unfortunately, the rest of the game kind of didn't exist. Scott mentions Traveler. I don't remember a lot of Traveler. I remember we tried to kind of play some Traveler, but once again, it wasn't something that we stuck with a lot. But of course, we played all these other games as well. We weren't always playing role-playing games. Played a lot of other stuff. Off the top of my head, I remember we used to play Diplomacy. We've tried to play Third Reich a few times. I don't recall ever getting through a game of that. Played Fletcher Pratt's a lot. Elliot ran Traveler, according to Scott. You know what? I don't remember that. In fact, I guarantee you, Elliot doesn't remember it either. He can't tell you what he had for lunch. Actually, he's usually pretty good at remembering stuff from way back in the days. Yes, we played Car Wars. That was another game we played a lot. So Disavowed 92 is in chat with us. So Star Frontiers was okay back in the day. If TSR had actually tried to, make a game of Star Frontiers, had invested more into Star Frontiers, I think it would have been a better game. But from what I remember, it was like Star Frontiers kind of got the short end of the stick all the time, kind of like Gamma World and Boot Hill. Boot Hill didn't get a lot of support either. So a Great A says, no one gets their advanced Third Reich. So many games started, none completed. Yeah, I don't remember us ever completing a game of Third Reich at all. All right, so that is it for tonight's show. As I mentioned before, tomorrow morning, I will have Alien the Role-Playing Games starter set review up for you. And Scott also mentions that we moved off D&D into Rollmaster/Ice. Yes. Arms Law, Spell Law, Claw Law. I remember all those. And the funny thing is, that was another thing where it was like, wow, it seemed so cool because you had all these different, like, you had to roll these dice and you had all these different critical hits and all these other things. And the reality is it just bogged shit down to practically make it unplayable. Yeah, these big folders full of all the pages and stuff. So a Great A asks if we played Titan. I remember Titan from Avalon Hill. I don't remember playing it. I don't remember playing that really at all. We did play a lot of Steve Jackson game stuff. Like Scott had mentioned, we played Car Wars. Another game that it's kind of funny. I don't know. I did not see the new edition of Car Wars because, once again, if you're a follower of the show, you know that Steve Jackson Games, I don't know. They have no time for me. So I really don't have much time for them either. Even though I go way back with Steve Jackson Games. I'm kind of curious if it still plays out where you play the game for like 4 hours and in reality, about 15 seconds of time has passed. As far as the game world, I always thought that was kind of weird. All right. Anyway, as mentioned, that is it for tonight's show. So if you like the video, by all means, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't already. And if you do subscribe, ring that notification bell, because not only will it let you know when the Daily Dope streams live, Monday through Thursday nights right here on YouTube, I'll also tell you when my other videos get uploaded. Tomorrow. It's already uploaded. Check it out tomorrow. So you'll get those notifications as well. And of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all the latest in gaming news, reviews, comics, movies, TV. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Those of you out there who watched live, thank you very much for hanging out in chat. Good to see everybody. We had a nice chat rocking tonight. Very, very cool. Of course, I do know a lot of people out there do not have an opportunity to watch the show live. Hey, even if you're watching on Memorex, really, really appreciate anybody taking time out to watch any of the videos that I either stream or upload. So, of course, everybody enjoy the rest of your Tuesday night / Wednesday morning. Of course, I will be back tomorrow. And as I chime out on all my videos during this never-ending pandemic, and I mean it, it's never-ending. Here's hoping that all of you out there be smart, stay safe. See you tomorrow. Oh, you're still here. Well, once again, thank you very much for watching this video. And of course, if you'd like to subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel, click right here. And of course, if you want to see one of the latest episodes of the Daily Dope, click right on up here. And if you want to roll the dice, take your chances, see what YouTube thinks you might like from the channel, give a click right here. Once again, I'm Jeff McAleer, and I'll see you next time.